Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, October 31st, 2023. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today. You can call Brian right there. The phone number's on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning, and hey, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I hope Brian's on the inside today because it wouldn't be fun to be on the outside.
That's great. Yeah, I went to the gas station this morning, grabbed some milk or some creamer for coffee. It was just a few blocks. I'm like, holy cow. At least here in Spooner, like the roads are actually a lot worse than I thought they would be for just a little bit of snow. But how's the traffic down there? What kind of roads do you have down in Barron or in Barron County?
Flat with some hills. No.
Would you stop it?
I'm on fire today. No,
you are. You're killing it.
Dirk, we don't need a weather alert. Just look out your window. It's snowing right now again. It's snowing pretty good, actually blowing.
Yeah.
Roads are very icy. They're not good. I mean, the plows are out. They're doing what they can, but the temperatures and that temperature is really weird when it gets to be a certain temperatures. Ice doesn't help and salt doesn't help and things like that. So we've had a few accidents, cars in the ditch. Somebody hit a power pole and knocked some power out. So, yeah, it's been a busy morning.
Well, that's not good. Then they can't watch the show. Come on.
Yeah. Everybody's got internet on their phone, though. So
okay. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, obviously, Dirk and Renee. Now, that's great. Good, snowy, sexy, positive Halloween morning. That's what we should have called this today's show. Snowy, sexy, positive Tuesday Halloween special.
Maybe that'll be our new Ben and Fitzy Sexy Positive Tuesdays.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll rethink that one.
Yeah.
So you were off last week, of course, and good morning, Rick and Alicia Stelling. Well, we'll get into that as to why, but we always like to start with the sports thing. I didn't even get time to write anything down because here's the thing. There is so many sports going on right now. It's almost like sports overload. F1 was just on this weekend.
No one watches that, by the way.
I watch it. And Vegas is coming up soon. That's going to be fantastic. College football is kind of not winding down, but last few weeks of the season. NFL, of course. Then there's NBA, which you and I both love watching the NBA. And hockey is going. There's just so much going on right now. So here's my sports question. We can't watch. Oh, I'm sorry. And the World Series is going on. What have you watched this weekend? What did you watch with so many options?
Well, so I have DirecTV, not DirecTV. I have YouTube
TV.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Yeah, it does look nice. That's nice and it's high and tight. I like it.
That's right. So YouTube TV has got, when they have more than one sports, like last night I can watch on the same screen, I can watch the World Series and Monday Night Football. They have a split screen for all sporting events. And so I was able to watch them both last night. On football Saturdays, they have 4 different options of 4 different football games. You can watch college football games. So this YouTube TV is...
Are they a new sponsor for the show or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just hoping that... they should be. They should be because they're just... It's really neat. So...
But you got so much noise going on over there.
I know. I just got a lot of stuff going on. I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
With no press releases, by the way. So I'm watching lots of sports, but who's going to win the World Series?
Texas. They should.
I think so, too. But I was surprised Arizona came back like it did.
Well, I'm surprised Arizona's even in it. I mean, everybody is. I mean, what in the world? Like, people in Arizona don't even care about them. So, no, that's just really strange. The Texas Rangers are undefeated on the road, so they won another one. They're up 2-1. It's a best of 7. So whoever gets the 4 first. I mean, I picked the Texas to win it, but I picked it in 7 games. I think it's going to come down to the 7th game, which is going to be an awesome game.
What do the Vikings do for a quarterback? I mean, they got to have one. They got to make a trade today, don't they? They have to by 4 o'clock, right? They got to have one anyway.
Was it a playoff team with Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't a convincing answer. Yes. Were they a playoff team with him? And if
I think
not,
they
then nobody can replace him and actually do even better,
they
probably.
won 3 games without Justin Jefferson. I mean,
I know.
so
And all the Vikings fans, I lived in the Twin Cities for years. And so I listened to sports talk radio over there. And their fan base is weird. Not all of them, of course, but at least in the Twin Cities fan base, they constantly rip on them, and they hate every one of their players and their team. And if they lose, they just throw them under the bus. It's just really bizarre.
yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people, oh, Kirk Cousins can't win this game, and he's not that. Okay, fine. Careful what you wish for. Not that you were wishing that he would get injured, but now who are you going to replace him with?
Right.
So I don't know.
And
I mean, who's out there? Oh, I was just going to say, Colin Kaepernick is probably still standing around waiting to get a job.
Well, I've been hearing that they're going to trade for Ryan Tannehill today, which is kind of shocking. But Teddy Bridgewater could come back and be a Viking. Case Keenum could come back and be a Viking. They're two.
No, you know what?
Right?
That Tannehill, that would be good. That'd be a good fit. And because he's very Kirk Cousin-ish like. Yeah, that would actually be a good fit.
And the Vikings, they beat the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love is not the answer, isn't he? Holy cow.
So far.
He can't throw it more than 20 yards without it hitting the dirt first.
Yeah, so far he's not super impressive.
Yeah.
But he's still, you got to remember, Troy Aikman, his first year, he went, 0-15 or something? And then he won, he's in the Hall of Fame for the Cowboys back in the 90s. I mean, his first year, he was 0-11, 0-12.
I don't think
for that
teams have patience anymore to do that. I don't think teams have patience.
No, they don't, but they should. They really should. I mean, I was actually put this on my Facebook page last week, the GOP speaker vote, etc. It was actually when I was talking to Tom Tiffany for a monthly show as well that, they 8 Republicans said, oh, we don't like the Speaker McCarthy. We want him out of here. Okay, fine. Now who are you replacing him with? And that was a dumpster fire. So just be a little patient, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Locally, Cameron is off to the next round of play. Football, I'm assuming?
Football. Rice Lake girls volleyball is on their way to state on Friday. I'm thinking about going down to that. And Rice Lake football is still in it. Cameron football is still in it. Cameron goes to Grantsburg. I mean, that'll be a big matchup. Rice Lake plays at home against, I can't remember. Hopefully they win. So, yeah, good for Cameron, good for Rice Lake. And Rice Lake girls volleyball, third time in history, and first time since 2008 they've been to volleyball to state. So
that's awesome.
Big deal.
I just heard they're not going to charge him stuff. Yeah, so he could come back. Yeah. Just don't have any cheerleaders around. Just saying. He kind of gets in a little bit of trouble. Ben Roethlisberger, boy, this is great. We have like literally nothing to talk about on the show, so that's why we're kind of extending our sports thing this morning because we have nothing to talk about. Ben Roethlisberger again.
Very quiet.
I don't know. Here's an interesting thing though. If you look around the league, how many starting quarterbacks have missed at least one game so far?
Right.
It's like you put everything, a whole franchise, everything that goes into it is just based around your starting quarterback, and if they're hurt, then your team sucks.
Yeah,
it's just so weird. There's no real contingency plans. Right. It's like, well, guess our season's over. Like the Vikings. Come on, I don't care who you get. It's an easy division right now, but still.
Right. Well, Detroit looked good again last night. Man, that tight end they have, Laporta or whatever, that kid's legit.
Yep.
I agree. Awesome.
Well, I did want to talk to you about the judge thing, the weather. Of course, it's Halloween. We'll get to all that and more, I'm assuming, in 15 seconds after word from Spooner Health.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit SpoonerHealth.com.
All right, so tomorrow's November 1st, of course.
Yes.
And people, real quick recap. Mike Bitney, the judge in Barron County, announced I don't remember when, earlier this year, that he was going to be retiring. And the governor, sometime around May, put out the press release saying that he was seeking applicants so he could appoint someone. My sources tell me that there were 2 people that applied. Neither of them got the job. After the interviews, then he extended it. He is in the governor. The deadline to like August 25th or 26th. Again, my source told me that there were 3 more that applied. I did get that confirmed with the governor's office that 5 total people had applied. Still nothing. So this is going to be an April election, maybe a February election if there's more than 2 people. It's a nonpartisan, but still. They have to take out papers in December and then have that in by January 1st. So, first question, since he hasn't appointed anyone, are you surprised? Let me ask you two questions in one. Are you surprised that he hasn't appointed anyone? And do you think there's still time to do it?
I think, I'm surprised he hasn't. And two, I think he's going to wait. And
I was going to get to that. I think I know where you're going with it.
It appears that only one person's going to put in for it and run. I think he appoints him January 2nd.
January 2nd.
He appoints the person. They have to win the election, but since he'll be the only one on. Sam will be the only one on the ballot.
If there's only one on the ballot, what if there's two people on the ballot?
Then I think we don't have a judge till August. Well,
I think April.
He'll appoint after the election in April. Correct.
And explain to people why that would be. Why appoint someone after they just got elected?
Because then they don't take office till August 1st, and he can take office immediately then.
So that gives them 4 months of you having a judge.
Right.
Why do you think that they would want to appoint someone to make sure that there's 4 months that they have a judge, that you don't have to wait for a judge? Why?
Well, because I don't know why. I mean, why now? I mean, that just shows you don't – I don't know why.
Well, I mean, why would you want to appoint someone? And it sounds like it would be so then you have 4 months of that judge that you already elected. So now you can have that third judge in Barron County and keep things moving.
Right. That's why they do it. But I think it's just appoint somebody.
Then why not do it now? I mean, if it's important to make sure that you have those 4 months covered, what about the 5 months before that?
Well, interesting. I have three. I'm going to have 3 positions open in January. I have 2 retirements, and I lost one person to AIM-RPD, but I have my chief deputies retiring. So we have a lot of internal. So I'm hiring 3 people. I'm hiring 3 patrol officers. So I've got applicants here on my desk, and that's one of the reasons I missed last week, as I was doing interviews for dispatch. But so I have patrol interviews right now on my desk here, and I'm going through them, trying to find. I have 3 positions, so I want to interview. Right now, I only have 6 interviews.
6 applicants?
5.
No. 6 interviews that you selected for 3 positions.
Right. So ultimately, I'm not excited about all of them. I'm excited about a couple of them. So ultimately, I think I'm going to end up with, and maybe I'm wrong, my committee gets to have some say in this. I get the final say, but they get to have a list to me. But I may only hire 2 and then open it back up and see what I get. So, but I think the people that applied for the judge job are all qualified, so I don't know why he didn't pick one of them. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's a political move. I have no idea. We'll never know. And so that's how it is. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, so Sam Lawton is the one who has announced that he is going to he put his name, he's going to run for that position. Mm-hmm. And so you're saying that you believe that there's a chance that if nobody else applies for that, then on January, after you have to have all your signatures in to be on the ballot, if he is the only one, then there is a chance that, well, then just appoint him now because, he's going to win the election.
Right. If the governor doesn't appoint him on January 3rd, then that's not.
I don't know what's going on.
Right. That's just dumb. There, I'll just say it. It's just there's no reason to not appoint him if he's the only guy running. I mean, he will appoint. I mean, it doesn't make any sense why he wouldn't.
Okay, I understand that. I guess the only thing that bothers me is that they're not really being transparent about it, and maybe there's a reason for that. But why do you think they just don't come out and say, listen, we're not going to maybe don't have to give the future plans, but we've decided not to appoint anyone at this time. Why not say that?
I don't know the answer. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know the answer to that. It's
bizarre.
It's political. I don't know, or he doesn't want to make a choice, or there's not a good choice. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what his team is thinking. I don't think the governor makes it. I mean, ultimately, it's his stamp
his
that
panel
goes on it.
Right. We'll give their advice Okay. All right. And you had said before when we first talked about this a couple of months ago, is that how long can you go without a third judge where it starts impacting things? It's been like 2 months now. Mm-hmm. September, a month and a half, right? September 15th. Month and a half. Are you seeing any major issues right now, or it's maybe slowing some things down, but we're doing fine?
No, I think Judge Babler's got it going. He will not let it get as. He'll do what he can to make it not get backlogged. Wow, this is annoying today.
Today.
Police calls.
Oh man, jeepers creepers.
So he'll do what he can to not make the backlog. But there'll be some delay. I mean, there was only one judge here on Friday. There was several cases to be heard. Small trials. I mean, short trials like traffic trials. So there's a delay, and it's like you burn your people out. Sooner or later, you burn your people out. You can make them work overtime all you want, but sooner or later, they're not going to want to work overtime or they're going to get sick. And then that's why you try not to run short.
Yeah. Because Babler's legit, and he's been around a long time. I mean, if there's
Well,
anyone that
legit,
could manage the fort,
right.
he can.
But how long do you do that where you can't work? Jeepers.
Yeah.
I'm important today.
Yeah, no kidding. These are like 911 calls. Hang up.
That's not what it was.
Okay.
It was Colt calling. We're working on it. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
Well, we'll talk about this again on our first show in January.
Yeah,
Let's
probably.
see kind of where we are. So
make the decision for the governor.
What?
Maybe you should just watch the show. He'd learn a lot.
No kidding. And we've asked him to come on. He's like one of the few people we've ever asked to come on. And so far now, I don't know why. I literally said on this show. So it wouldn't be like a standalone. Just come on with and we'll just talk.
Right.
That sounds like that's a no-go.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but Fitzy's a Democrat, so.
I'm everyone's sheriff.
Everyone's sheriff. I know. Here we go. Boy, I haven't done the booking reports today.
The webpage is down. Our webpage is down. For not on our end, it's on the end of the website's end. It's probably going to be down a day or two, is what I was told. We're working on that issue. So yes, you won't be able to see the roster. So people will panic because they love seeing the roster.
Yeah.
But it's we're trying to get it hosted ourselves. We're trying to move to a different thing because it's on their end, not on our end, and our end isn't down. So we're working on. Our IT director is working on that with our jail captain.
Okay. It's Halloween. Trick or treat is out tonight. Then you throw in the weather.
Yep.
What are you going into this tonight? What are you concerned about? What are you looking for? What are you monitoring?
Right now. It's really snowing really good right now. So I don't think there'll be a ton of trick or treaters out. If you are trick or treating tonight, you're going to have to take some extra precaution because one, it's cold. It looks like it's going to be windy, and sidewalks are going to be slippery. Steps are going to be slippery. So we're going to see, intersections are slippery. There's been several accidents today. Not several, but enough. There's been more than, it was slippery this morning.
The first snow. And we always see the first snow. There's going to be, it's like we forget how to drive on it for a little bit.
We do. And everybody needs to be reminded. And the new drivers that got their driver's license over the summer, we need to remind them to go slow. Text your kids today, remind them to go slow. It snowed across the state of Wisconsin, it appears. I checked 511.gov. I mean, that's the best website. You can check every road condition. You can check traffic cameras. You can check anywhere you want to travel. 511 Wisconsin is the answer to everything when you're traveling. I mean, you literally can, if you're driving to Eau Claire, they'll show you the traffic cams in Eau Claire to show you how the roads look in Eau Claire. So it's a really neat website. One of the best websites out there when you're traveling, 511 Wisconsin. And they have one for Minnesota, and they have one. So if you're going to Minnesota, it's 511 Minnesota. I mean, you can see all the traffic cams, all the road conditions, construction, accidents, you name it. Everything is on that app for when you're traveling. So that's what you need to use.
I use it. I really do. In the wintertime, I always check it every morning. When it's bad weather, not because I go anywhere, but for like Dersha and others that are going. Heather says that she has 500 treats to hand out.
That's a lot. If you get 500 kids, I think you'll have enough tonight. I think and there was a lot. We had 5 trick-or-treating events over the weekend, trunk or treats and Main Street trick-or-treating. And so we were in where'd we go first? Barron, Rice Lake, Cumberland, Cameron, Barron's last night, and then trick-or-treating tonight. So Lots of trunk or treats over the weekend, so I think that slows down your Halloween,
What
especially when
is
it's on a weekday.
trunk or treats?
Well, like we did Main Street trick or treating. We just put the candy in your trunk, and then you walk around all these cars in the parking lot in Barron. We did it in Rice Lake. So Main Street trick or treating in Rice Lake, Main Street trick or treat in Cumberland, trunk or treating in Barron, trunk or treating in Cameron, where they just took the parking lot of the school and put all these businesses or cars there, and you could give out candy to all these kids. So that'll slow down the trick or treaters. But it's going to be slippery. Sidewalks are going to be slippery. People aren't going to shovel. The shoveling isn't taking effect unless you have salt. People weren't prepared for salt yet, so you probably don't have salt. So you got to go get it, and you don't have enough time. So expect sidewalks to be very slippery. In fact, I got to put something out there about that because our sidewalks are super slippery, especially with the wind like it is. Intersections are going to be slippery. You're not going to be able to stop like you would on dry. So if a trick-or-treater runs out, they're not watching for cars. They're looking for candy and their friends and costumes and everything else. So we've got to drive extra slow tonight. It's going to take a lot of effort on our end to make sure our kids get home safe. So we have to do that. Tonight is the night where we have to pay attention. And you're just not going to be able to stop you like you would. You're going to skid, and we just can't have somebody running out. You got to watch your kids. And we can't run between houses. And like I said, steps are going to be slippery. Sidewalks are going to be slippery. So be extra, extra careful tonight.
So stay home is what I'm hearing.
No,
just go to
I'm
the
not
gas
saying
station and buy a bag of Kit Kats and just go home and
eat them all.
And just eat them. Yeah.
Right. Go to McDonald's, get the Happy Meal, and go home and have
and watch YouTube TV.
Dual sports channels. So.
Yeah. What are your plans?
YouTube TV.
What are your plans for tonight? Are you law enforcement up? Are you playing cop tonight? Or are you monitoring it? Do you have meetings? What are your plans for Halloween night?
My plans for Halloween are I don't have any plans right now. So we'll be going over to, we don't get a ton of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood. So we go over to our friend's house and they have a little get-together. They have a lot more trick-or-treaters. So we hand out trick-or-treaters with their kids. And we don't have any kids at home, so we go over and visit our friends in Rainey-Kinans. He's a Rice Lake officer, so we'll go over to their house, and I'll monitor. I'll take my radio with me and monitor what's going on. And
do you dress up like in your uniform? You have your gun out and stuff, so when they open the door?
Yeah, no, I'm not dressing up. It's a dress-up thing, but I don't dress up. I'll have my equipment with me in case I need to go or something happens. But it is one of the nights I do pay attention to what's going on out there because it can get busy. Now, I don't think it'll be super busy tonight unless it's traffic-wise or cars in the ditch or something happens like that. But it can get busy. It wasn't busy this weekend. Usually the Saturday night of Halloween, the weekend before, is always a busy night in the bars. It was not a real busy night in the bars. In fact, I didn't work. I came home late from hockey, but I was going to go to work when I came home, but there was nothing going on when I got home, so I didn't even go to work. It's been the first time, I think, in about 15 years that I didn't work on the Saturday night of Halloween. But it was pretty quiet weekend. So very happy with that. I mean, that's great. Everybody had fun. There was lots of costume contests at bars and casinos and different places, so that was great. Everybody had a good time, and there was no major incidents.
That's perfect. You did it that way. It's been like 3 weeks since you sent out a press release, almost a month. It's been and that's fantastic. Unfortunately, what you and I have talked before when we've gone through these stretches is then it's just we got to make up for it, and there's like 3 a week for 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah. I just remembered someone had asked me like a few days ago, asked if I'd heard anything about, I don't know, a deceased body found somewhere in Rice Lake or something. Did you hear anything about that? No? All right. Mm-hmm. I just don't remember that. Or maybe they just found something. I don't think there was anything inappropriate with or not inappropriate, that there was like a crime or anything. And you know, what I always say when they ask me, if it's important, Fitzy, put out a press release.
Right. I don't think we handled anything. I mean, there's been nothing really.
Yeah, which is just great.
You asked me about an accident on M and 48 the other night. I mean, I'm not enough to do there was a crash there, but there's not enough to do a press release. I don't even know. Yeah. I mean, I think, some of the response may have been unknown. When you get a crash out in the county like that and there's unknown injuries, I think we send as many resources as we can. And then all might get there and it's not bad and they all go home. I mean, so it might look like it's bad, but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm not saying I think someone got hurt, but I don't think it was. If I did a press release on everybody that got hurt in the crash,
Lord.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be like crying wolf. You'd never read them. You'd never.
Well,
read
that's just it.
page.
And we've talked before about some media outlets. They'll see a crash and everything, as you just said, looks bad.
Right.
So those go and take pictures and say, "Hey, there was a crash here." It's, yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be doing that, but I'm saying they shouldn't be doing that because you don't even know what happened. There's no story here. Because imagine if you just had someone just following you around and, whoops, someone just pulled this person over. Oops, somebody just went in. And, come on. Do better.
I got a bone to pick with a media outlet, too. So,
is it
not yours.
Oh, good. Okay, then please go ahead.
Well, it was one of our not a Barron County newspaper. It's out of the county newspaper, and they're doing an article on Flock, which is our camera system, and we have Flock, and they made it. I didn't like how they wrote the article, and I haven't read the whole article, so I'll hold back on some.
Well, how do you know if you don't like the article if you didn't read it?
Well, I read the highlight. I don't like the headline. And I don't like the start of it. They made it sound like the cops were putting up these cameras, and we've been noticing these cameras around, and and it's a license plate reader camera, and it doesn't catch red light violations. It doesn't catch speeders. It's like, but it's not. I just didn't like it.
All right. So what is it? What is I'm assuming that's an acronym as well, right?
It's not an acronym. It's just the name of the camera system. And these camera systems we have around the county. We've had them we haven't had ours for years, but other police departments have them. It's a nationwide camera system. It's a license plate reader. It's used to solve crimes. It's not a red light camera. It's not to catch speeders. It shows the back of your car. It shows the license plate cover. But I just didn't like how they worded their article.
Where do you think they were going with it? This is like Big Brother-ish or something? Or
I think they were Big Brother-ish. I think exactly what they were going for. And maybe they reached out to law enforcement and they wouldn't comment on it. I just didn't like it at all. I might reach out and tell them I didn't like it. But you never fight people that buy it ink by the barrel. And so it's not always good. But sooner or later I don't say I have to because it wasn't an attack on me, but it was attack on law enforcement, and I don't like it. I don't like their headline. I didn't like it at all. I really think they thought the cops secretly put these cameras up, and it's Big Brother's watching you, and that's not what they do. I mean, they don't do video. They do still pictures. We don't own the pictures. It deletes after so many days. Again, we rent them. We don't even buy them. It's not our system. We just rent the information. They're a nationwide camera, but it's just. And they put all the locations up of them, and it was unneeded, but whatever. There, I said my piece. I don't like it.
Well, we've talked about it before. There's that great line from Jurassic Park that just because you could doesn't mean you should. Right. And I'm not going to question what other media outlets do.
Right.
Okay, that's not true. I totally do. And I absolutely am critical about some of them. And then there's things I can certainly look back on and go, I don't regret doing anything that I've done, but looking back, hindsight being what it is, it's, I could have done it this way. I could have done that better. If I had a chance to do it over, maybe I would have changed just one word, which is why I'm very careful about all that stuff, because we don't want to ever have those situations where it's, man, I should have probably done it this way. And I get it, but I don't know. You had just said that, because there is that saying that you were referencing in newspapers, that you never pick a fight with someone that buys their ink by the barrels.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know if you really want to, if you're a media outlet, really upset law enforcement either. I think there's a balance there. And it starts with that trust and the communication, and I don't know, maybe run it by and tell me all the positives about what this is. And then certainly fine if you put in some people may not like this because of X, Y, and Z, but the sheriff says, or whomever.
Right.
I'm just saying there's a better way of doing it.
Yeah. So anyway, there
you go. Katie,
yeah.
I would assume there's something today. There's a lot of rumors going around. So there was 2 missing boaters. So it's technically a Douglas County situation in Wascott. I messaged the chief deputy in Washburn yesterday, and I did see on the call logs that there was a call that came in on Washburn counties, but it was on Minong Flowage. However, where this was kind of pinged or where it was at, technically is in Douglas County. So it's a Douglas County case. So Douglas County Sheriff's Office is the lead agency. I'm assuming they're going to have an update today, probably this morning. I'll check as soon as the show is finished. Obviously, I've heard some rumors that maybe they found some bodies. But again, those are just rumors. Facebook messages saying, hey, did you hear this? This is going around. This is why, whether it's Fitzy or anybody else, and I don't have a close relationship with Douglas County. That's not one of our coverage areas. But I'm going to wait for law enforcement to say something because I don't want to be first if it's wrong. And unless I can source it, then that's a lot of work, and it's still dangerous. Fitzy, you've talked about that before. Unless it comes from like this podium or unless it comes like on the show or in a press release, I'm not saying it isn't true, but I wouldn't believe it until we say something. So that's why we're waiting. We're waiting to hear from the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Again, I believe there'll probably be an update later this morning of any kind of update. I think that's probably just the appropriate thing to do when it's a big story like this.
100%.
So I'm assuming there will be one of those. Yeah.
So the last topic I want to talk about before we run out of time is plows. Our plows are back out. They need a lot of space. They have the new green warning lights. I saw our plows out today, and now they have warning lights on their wings that they put out. What we have to give our plows extra space. So if you're going to meet a plow, pull over, slow down. You don't need to go 70 miles an hour when you meet a plow. Be careful when you pass a plow. They're not there to delay you to get to work or get to wherever you're going, your appointment, whatever it is. They're not going to go 30 miles down the road and turn around. They have sections, so they're going to turn around in the middle of somewhere. Give our plows a lot of extra space. Give our plow drivers some extra time. Don't push them. They're not going to speed up or slow down because of you behind you. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So
I would do that, by the way. If I was a plow truck driver, I'd just go slow just to tick off people behind me.
And I just swerve and make the whole road up. My plow lane would look like this. 53 would just be a serpentine.
Yeah, I don't know why people want to get close to those things anyway. They scare me.
Right.
I mean, seriously, this isn't like your average car crash. It's not going to end well for Ben if that thing hits my vehicle. So I stay as far away as possible.
So give them all extra space and time, and we've got to just go slow in the snow. I mean, we said it all the time, but it's icy out there now with this wind blowing and the snow. It's blowing pretty good right now here, and so let's be careful.
Yeah. Speaking of the weather, Dirk, if you have your weather forecast,
look at that. Boom.
Let us just look at boom. Sheepers, Johnny on the spot. Snowing this morning, maybe another half inch. Highs lower to mid-30s, so 30s and windy or gusts anyway.
Highs near 40, that'll help. Oh, rain and snow Friday.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Rain, snow, and if it's cold, Friday night. That may be a busy. Yeah. Tiffany has a question here. Do you know if Barron County or surrounding counties hire peer support specialists or something along those lines, behavioral health, addiction, and mental health related?
So I don't know the answer. Well, kind of. I mean, we have our own peer support specialists inside the county. We use a firm for anything outside the county, like if I need to bring somebody in for a critical incident. But from a mental health standpoint, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Hey, I have someone who hasn't been on the show in a long time in your area. Well, technically, he's my representative too now, until the maps probably get redone again. Dave Armstrong. Representative Dave Armstrong is going to be on the show Thursday morning. Any questions you think I should ask him or anything going on?
He's also the economic development person in Barron County.
I like Dave.
And he put on a banquet the other day, a morning banquet. Had Robin Voss was the speaker. Awesome job.
Really?
Gave out some cool awards. I mean, the coverage of the businesses that he supported and gave awards to, some amazing businesses in Barron County. He really highlighted them very well. I mean, awesome job. Hats off to Dave for it was a great breakfast. Yeah. Lots of people there, lots of contacts made. I mean, it was just awesome.
And Dave, you can, because it's politics, you may not like him because he's Republican or may not like him for anything that he's doing. Fine, I get it, whatever. But you can't. You cannot bang on the guy for his job that he's done as executive director for the Barron County Economic Development Corporation. The dude's legit. And if you don't think so, just look around at the other counties. It's one of those same things. Careful if you're I want someone else. Who? Dave is fantastic when it comes to that in that role. And my understanding, what I've been told, is that's what he focuses on when he's down in Madison. That's what because everybody kind of has their thing that they're into.
Childcare. I mean, he's got. I mean, obviously, sometimes it doesn't happen because he's only one vote.
Yeah.
And that's the other frustrating. I mean, Romaine has talked about that. You got the best idea if you take it down to Madison. They were like, we don't do anything to the north, you know. So I mean, they've pushed hard to make things happen, and they've made some things happen. But just because you got an idea, it doesn't mean when you take it to Madison, you can get 200 other people to vote with you.
Yeah, I know it. Ugh, I wouldn't want that job. I don't know why anybody does that job. Yeah. All right, so what do you have coming up this week? Obviously tonight you're going to go to a friend's, do some trick or treating, or hand out candy.
Are you
to
going
some trick or treaters?
Do you even turn your lights on?
No. No. As soon as it gets dark, man, I'm flipping that switch. I close the garage, close all the blinds. Don't come here.
Well, and that's what, if you don't want kids, you do shut your lights off. We teach our kids, go to houses with lights on. So if you have lights that turn on, like we have our Christmas lights up already, so we'll have to shut them off tonight to make sure that kids don't come to the house. So,
well, my son Kenneth, he wouldn't surprise me if he would, because just that's how he is. He'd probably only go and knock on doors that the lights aren't on and say, "Why aren't you handing out? Like, do you hate kids or something? Why aren't you handing out candy?" That'd be Ken. Like, nope, we don't want the cops getting called, buddy. Let's.
Do you hate kids? Here's a candy bar. If you hate kids, I'm going to give you candy.
Yeah. So no, we won't be. The kids will be going out and trick or treating if they want to. Kenneth's not going to dress up at all. He's just going to go and say, "Give me candy." We're going to say no.
I got my winter jacket on. It's too cold.
No kidding. Yeah.
My costume's underneath.
Yeah. What else do you have going on end of this week or this weekend? More hockey?
Yeah, we're going down there for hockey again. Play in West Bend this weekend. It's first responder weekend, so it'll be kind of neat. They're honoring first responders, just thanking them for their service. So that was kind of neat. Yeah. They do different things throughout the year. So doing really good. Big road wins for him this weekend. Still doing really good. Living life and living his dream. So.
Oh, it's daylight saving this weekend as well.
Oh, yeah. Change your clock Saturday night.
Yeah, backwards. So that means fall back. Is that fall back. So we gain an hour's sleep, but what does that do to the mornings? Does that mean an extra hour in the morning, right?
Right. It'd be darker earlier.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I like light in the morning. But I also get up at 4. So, going 3.5 hours before the sun comes up is that's rough.
You got a half a day in already.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, we'll see you next week, huh?
All right. Have a safe Halloween.
Thank you, you too. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Give Brian a call today. See what he can do for you. 715-520-2271. Fitz and I are taking a 6-day, 23-hour, and 15-minute break. We'll see you next Tuesday. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.